Hi, honey pie. What is it? I don't need you up here either. Yes, you got to get off there. Jeremy, did you wee out in the hallway? Because I can smell you did wee in the hallway. Honestly, you were like Tara Bubble, and you're not much more helpful. Hey. What? You've got a green nose. Ah! Honestly, what you doing? Leave my hat. Excuse me. No, it's not the buffet. Out. Hey, get out. And you. Yes, you're the worst. Get out. Melvin. Go. Shoo. Yes. Thank you. Where's your mummy? Jenny, did you have to be in the hall? We could have gone in the hall. Oh, happy Wednesday. Oh no, hold on, Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. No, hold on, Jack. Wait a minute, I'm going to get there. Going to check the diary. Hold on 1 minute. It's Tuesday. I knew that. No, I didn't. Honestly. Oh, goodness gracious. It's been, so, oh gosh, I'll have to go way back here. So, it's Tuesday, no job today, which was very fortunate because it's been busy. The turkey's not feeling very well, the Tom turkey. I have a funny feeling he's probably in heart failure. I have spoken to my vet. I have a video conference with the vet. And I think the problem we really have is these are meat turkeys. And they put on a tremendous amount of weight. That's what they're bred to do. And then ordinarily they would be culled and eaten. We obviously don't eat our turkeys or any of the animals that we have. And I think he's just feeling the strains of probably been around for quite some time. I went in and I sat with him this morning. He's beautifully warm. I was obviously first thought was, oh crikey, he's too cold. But I went in and I sat on the ground with him, and he's warm everywhere he should be. He has no damage to him, and he's just, I've noticed him over the last number of weeks slowing down slightly. When you're moving him, he's exceptionally slow. I think moving around is becoming more difficult for him, and he has a slight, it's almost like a hiss, not a wheeze, but it's more like a hiss. When he moves, it's like it's stressful for him. So unfortunately, I'm just waiting to see. I don't think there's anything, well, apparently there's nothing we can really do. He doesn't have any signs of disease, which is good. And he doesn't actually, apart from the fact he's spending an awful long time sleeping and his head is down, doesn't seem to be in any pain. Obviously, if I thought he was in pain, I would take him and get him helped on his way. But I think he's just struggling with the weight of his body, etc., unfortunately. So this is a waiting game. We always hope they will rally. We always give, when the donkeys come in from rescue, the first time that they arrive with us, we do have the vet out to do an inspection, and very often it's we should help them on their way. We always give them 3 days, just because sometimes it's the stress of the transport, stress of going through auctions, and sometimes that 3 days helps. Bizarre things like, breathing problems, it just sometimes makes the world a difference. And a lot of the animals that we still have today, they've been party to the 3-day rule. So I'm always keen not to jump too soon. He doesn't seem to be in any pain, and I suppose it's just one of those things. He's terribly sweet. So we shall take it from there, but just so everybody knows, he's not doing particularly well. Okay, so it's just really been a barn day today, and it's lovely having a barn day because you get to spend all your day wandering around with the animals, and because they can't go outside at the moment, they have to put up with me. So I take them out in little groups. I have the Sally, the turkey, and the 2 chickens out. They go for a little wander around. Everybody just makes a beeline for where the hay is stored. They make a tremendous mess in there, but hey, they love it. The goats jump up the hay bales. The turkey, she goes in under all the straw and the hay. So they thoroughly enjoy having a wander around inside the barn. I have got to the stage where I don't think anything other than an equine will be in the arena, because Arthur seems to be taking exception to anything that is not an equine. Don't ask me what's going through his brain at the moment, but anything that comes in, and if it's not a donkey or a horse, they haven't a hope, because he chases them round and round. So I keep the goats out of there, I keep the cows out of there, and anything feathered is all down this end. So the rabbits are doing well. They've got a lovely, very large straw bed. It's hemmed in with hay bales, and the straw's all in the middle. So if you can't see the rabbits in the stall, it's because they're under the hay bales, which is under the straw. So that's really quite nice. They're all A-OK. Elvis is doing just fine, and Jemmy, she's actually out in the hall eating just now, and the turkey door is open to the Tom turkey and the other female turkeys, so they're up there. If they come in, they come in. The goats are absolute chaos. They just make such a mess. They knock over every single tool. You can think to yourself, oh my gosh, I've got everything, tidied away. There's nothing for them to knock over or step on or jump on, and they find something. They're full of the joys of being goats. Not much I can say. But they've been up and down the aisle. We went out for a little walk outside. Milo got stuck in the snow. The one who's very good in the snow is actually Blossom. She's super. She's a bit more intelligent than the other three. The rest of them are all over the place. But Blossom, she's quite adventurous. So that's always very nice. And Jenny, I don't know what's going on with Jenny. So she's quite calm with me unless I want to touch her on the head. She doesn't like that very much. I can touch her on her back and she runs off. So I think I'm just going to slip a halter on her and just progress this a little bit faster, because she follows me around all over the place, and which is really lovely, because she just trots behind me and supervises everything I'm doing and eats up the bits and pieces that I drop, which is much appreciated. But I would really like to get a halter on her and start lead work. I don't think she wants to do that, but I want to do that, because it's always very handy to be able to put a halter on something and have it move at the appropriate time, because you just never know when you need a halter on something that's gone missing. So that's my aim before Janine comes back in April. I'm not aiming for when Janine comes back in February. I'm going for April. I'm giving myself a big long run at it. But everything else is all okay. I don't think I've seen those horned goats outside today at all, because they're all lying in their stall at the heater end. Honestly, it's ridiculous. And so they're up there, and the chickens are all fine, and all the dogs are keeping away from the snowdrifts, because the snowdrifts are pretty deep. Somebody's making very rude noises about another little snowstorm coming in at the weekend. We managed to get about another 4 inches last night, maybe 5 inches. So it just kept coming. And it's beautiful to look at until it goes slushy and dirty, and then it's just an absolute mess. But hey, it's looking good at the moment. And I always feel the snow gives you a slight bit of insulation, cold insulation, but it gives you a degree of insulation. So it's not the end of the world. This evening, all I have to do is I'm going to give the donkeys some more hot feed. The 2 little mini horses are going into their stall. It's all set up for them. And then I check my bunny rabbits and put Jim back, and that's me done for the evening. And I need to top off the water for the donkeys in the arena. The donkeys in the arena, they're really so funny. They really like flavoured water. I think I might have created a bit of a beast. They all come over and they all have a really good drink, which is super to see, because that's really what we're aiming for. I will say my poor daughter was a bit disappointed, because I sent Nick to the supermarket before the snowstorm came in, and I said, I just want to try all the little, those little small containers of applesauce. I said, I just want to try. I said, just get whatever selection you can, but don't do anything maybe with cinnamon in it. I don't think I want to do that. So he came home with lots of different little, sort of like, what are they, 8-packs or something like that of applesauce. So I realised I was going through these really, really, really quickly, and I thought, I don't think this is quite right. Turns out Sophie's been eating them. I mean, seriously, you've got to go into the fridge and you've got to say, are any of these vegetables for the animals? And if you eat the peppers, those are for the rabbits. If you eat the carrots, that's for the donkeys, the cows, and the rabbits. I mean, seriously, you've got to ask before you eat anything in our house. It's absolutely atrocious. And she said to me last night, she was going to cook something for dinner. She said, have you got the spinach? And I said, yep. I said, but I don't really have the spinach, because it's kind of like in a goat. So you've got to be careful in our house what you eat, because it's very often on the list for something other than a person. So everybody's been doing very well, and long may it continue, hopefully. Meredith is still standing, and everybody's managing to get out to do chores, and that's wonderful. Nick's going to call in there. He's away out to the supermarket and to pick dog food, and then he will be going past Meredith and just checking all the hay and the water, because the water is a really big one at this time of night. So there we go. There's no job tomorrow because it's Wednesday, which is super, so I'll have another really nice day in the barn, lucky me. And I don't think what else is happening. Carlene's just fine, she's just getting all the things. Nick's been out playing with the snow blower again this afternoon. He's just trying to make sure that what we've got on the ground, you know, before it really freezes, because we've got very cold weather coming in, he's trying to clear paths to all the manure heaps. So he's been doing a lot of snow removal this afternoon. He gets up early, starts his work, as in his actual work. He starts his work and then he works till about 2, and then he goes out and engages the powers of the snowblower and gets on with that, and then he'll work again in the evening. So keeps him busy and out of trouble, I think. And so we're really in pretty good shape until we're not. But we're in pretty good shape as of just now, so that's all that we really need. It's the ice that's worse than the snow. There's nothing more unpleasant than ice. So I'm not sure what we're going to be expecting, because it is going to be very cold in the next few days and nights. Now, oh good golly, I'm way down here. Oh, I know, my goats came in, they were trying to take things off the shelf. The rest of it is all going out to the trash, because the mice have eaten it. Now, well, that's not crumpled chips, that's pine shavings. Goodness gracious, pine shavings, because I defrost the bowls in here. So when all the water bowls are frozen, I bring them in here and I leave them for about 10 or 15 minutes, and they defrost, and then I can go and use them. You see, there's a method to every single piece of madness here. But yes, this place is going to have to be cleared out. And my goats were in here earlier on. They were causing absolute havoc. They were jumping up the shelves. They were trying to get on the chairs, trying to eat my hat, my spare gloves. They were everywhere. And I am deliberately not sleeping in the barn at the moment, or blowing the barn out right now, because it just brings the dust up. It's very dusty in the barn at the moment, and then it just goes all the way through the barn. And if I can't breathe, the animals can't breathe. So there. But there's plenty of time for that, so I'm not overly concerned about it. Yeah, the mice ate all the pea pads. That's what they've made a right royal mess with. Honestly. So Janine has actually been in contact with the CEO of Mosaic to work out what on earth is going on with the board, and they actually have a technical problem, not us. And it's actually quite concerning for us, because I'm not sure what the Henny Penny board was at, but you know, this is coming towards the end of the month, and we're supposed to be doing chicken chatting on the 1st. And you know, I mean, this is our at the moment our only fundraiser, so it's quite a worry, I would suggest. But I suppose if we can't get it up and running, people are able to use just the donate button, but I don't know how we would get the board sorted. I tell you. My. Oh, we've talked about Tom turkey. Oh, you're right. It's Goldie's SmilChat tomorrow. Aha. I will have to remind her. I'll have to remember myself not to come in. Yeah. He is the turkey. He's the turkey that fights with the goats. Unfortunately. Yeah, that's exactly right, Kim, and that's exactly what the vet said as well. We have had a very informative conversation this morning. I think the important thing is it's one thing knowing that they've potentially got something and all the signs point to this, but what's actually really more important is making sure that there's no discomfort or pain that's unnecessary. So he's just slowed down. He's not desperately uncomfortable. He's still retaining heat. I do have somewhere I can take him should I need to help him on his way. But she thinks he'll if he doesn't recover, he'll just pass. And that's probably better for his turkey companion, that she knows that he's definitely gone and is constantly looking for him. It's quite something. So that's what we're looking out for. The gentleman, I can't remember he said it was Dean. I can't remember the name of the gentleman who ploughs the farm, but he does a lot of farms in the area, and he ploughs one of the farms that Michelle works at. So he's her contact, and he's absolutely super and such a nice man. He came back today to do another wee bit in the driveway, but he thinks the hydraulic fluid in his pump isn't working properly, so he had to go away because he couldn't get the plough to move. The hydraulic pump in his plough. Oh. Yes, I do pass on all your thoughts to Carlene. She's keeping nice and warm. Last time I walked past, she was actually sleeping. Yeah, I don't think the dogs have been out very much. They go out, go to the bathroom, and come back in. The male, yes, it's okay. It's such a pest because we've got enough problems when the weather isn't tricky, finding where they deliver things. And now they're putting things down at the end of the driveway, and then it snows, and it's nigh on impossible. You feel like you're chasing things, and it's a pest. But Karine did get a package yesterday that she was expecting, so that went into her, and we got a lovely card from Betsy, so I've got that in here. It's just there is no rhyme or reason for the mail in good weather. You can imagine how super exciting it is in bad weather. And maybe come the fall, we'll find lots of bits and pieces that we weren't expecting. Yes, I bet you Jenny is eating. That little stinker, she'll be away in there eating turkey food. Honestly, Jenny eats non-stop. She actually eats more than Elvis. She goes around scrounging from everybody's bin. She's a monkey. I think actually that turkey had a super time. He basically free ranged. He had a companion. He was outside. He was dust bathing. He's had a pretty good run of it. Just wish he would could keep him going longer. Yes, the turkey will move if Jamie's in there, that much I can tell you. Yes, chatting will be on Monday. Yeah. Jamie's very, she's not backwards about coming forwards as our Jamie. If she wants something, she's in there and she gets it. She's hilarious, she really is. She's very interactive. I'm thoroughly enjoying having her company in the barn. Um, and I keep saying this, but it's so nice because she used to go and stand at the barn door to get back in with Elvis. Now I have to chase her down into the barn. So she's quite happy for Elvis to sit in the stall by himself. She's an absolute monkey. Oh, the rabbits are doing just fine. They seem to be keeping themselves nice and cozy. Yeah, so the turkeys, when we got them, I think were only about 6 weeks. So he's well under a year, which, and I suppose that given, I know that the chickens that they cull for meat, they're called growers. I think some of them come to maturity in about 16 weeks. So, it tends to be, it's a shame because with the chickens, I know for definite, they tend to be a different shape and they put down muscle in different areas so that they tend to have the bigger breasts and they're heavier and they put the weight on really quickly. And I think when you lift, the female turkeys are a bit less chunky. And definitely that female turkey that's in with him, she's far slimmer and far more active. Whereas he's really heavy. I mean, even though he puffs his feathers out, and when he displays all his feathers, even when his feathers are flat, he's a much bigger and heavier bird than she is. So it's a terrible thing. And I suppose the problem is that's the way we've bred them because we've bred for convenience and extra meat. So anyway. Oh yes, somebody very kindly has. Mr. Ford is sending me a prototype for the new Henny Penny board, so I think that will probably get here. Yeah, we do. Wish they would stay longer. I tell you, that Jenny is just like a food seeking missile. She can find bits of grain that you've dropped on the floor, or I give the birds the pea flakes as well, and she can find them in amongst the shavings. She's some banana, that one. She's super. So I'm hoping that I think the new chatting board is on its way, so it should be here by the first, which and especially if we're doing it on Monday. So unless it gets snowed in somewhere, we'll tackle that. Uh, yes, I think somebody saw my absolutely terrible effort at a board and thought I can do better than that. And I thought, yes, please, 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 that would be most helpful. Oh my gosh, and that means my two chickens for the chicken shacking are away, so I'm going to have to deploy my backup birds. That will go down well. Oh, so I'll have to get that sorted. Okay, so that is us. I can't remember if there was anything else I was supposed to say. Janine had a super job today. She had two really lovely dogs, a Great Dane, and it looks like a big Labradoodle out, and her friend Michael went with her, and I think they saw so many people. Wanda obviously went. I think, did she say 67? I think they saw 67 people, which is absolutely phenomenal. And she also ran into a lady who is in all of these state-run nursing homes, and she said, "You have no idea how much we desperately need you." She said, "I could keep you going day in, day out, several times a day." So I think that there's a lot of need down there. So she's got a really good schedule going, which is wonderful. So there we are. I am going to go and retrieve my wayward cow and get her back in her barn if I'm lucky, and then get everybody else tucked in for the night, and then go up and do the goats and the chickens and the dogs. Beyond exciting. That's if my husband has actually left to go to Meredith. He might be still attached to the snow plough. He does enjoy that. It's a bit odd. There we go. I think essentially the turkeys that we have had available to us, and these were given to us, these turkeys, they it tends to be the ones that are available are the meat birds, because I think it would have to be a heritage breed that I would have to order online, and we weren't really intending getting turkeys. I think they came down with the goats, and then remember we got the bonus chick as well. So yes. So I'm not 100% sure that it's something I didn't actually look into. I just took what our friend brought us and went, those are lovely, thanks very much, that's wonderful. And yeah, so that's a question that I haven't really done that much research into the breeds of turkeys. So I'm sure there is probably a heritage breed that is probably, you know, doesn't put down the muscle in the same way. The beautiful thing about these white turkeys are they're so friendly. You know, they really are. I mean, I suppose they've been hand tamed, but you know, they've just been really lovely birds. Yeah, I think that's probably my female turkey. She likes to come and run around in the barn. She goes into the hay area, and she's super. She's very chatty. I don't know if you pick her up on camera, but she's always got something to say. That turkey, she's like Sally. She just sits and chats at you. It's really very nice. Right, so I better go and retrieve or round up all my animals and make sure that they're behaving themselves, which is unlikely. So thank you so very much for joining me, and I'll be back on Thursday because it's Wednesday, and we'll be coming out from South Carolina tomorrow. You might not see as much snow. Thank you again. Jenny, what are you doing? You're going my turkey. That's great. You haven't finished your dinner.